From the classroom to today, we're reconnecting on the way, sharing stories, dreams, and paths, discovering the impact that lasts. The impact that lasts, the stories unfold, lives transformed, futures.
So I am so excited to introduce the series, The Impact That Lasts. This is Miss Janay. I taught her as a teenager, and I'm now having the privilege to meet her as an adult. And this is her story. So Janay, when did we first meet in high school?
We met in high school I was 15 years old because my birthday's late, so I would have been turning 16, but I was 15 years old in the 11th grade,
And
going
what
into
class
the.
did I teach you?
Now, you know what? I don't know if it was patho, if it was health, if it was one of the
Intro to health careers?
intro to health careers.
That okay.
Yeah. All I know is that we had so much fun in your classes.
What
That's
was
what.
my classroom like? Because as the teacher, you don't know what your class is like in comparison to everybody else's classes. What was that
Yeah,
like?
no, I definitely loved coming to your classes. I remember we would always make up songs. You always had like a rhyme for us to remember, whatever it was, something about like the asthma with the triads and whatever it was, we made up a song to it, some type of melody, and that's what we would do. And we just vibe out whatever we were learning at that moment. There was a song, there was a poem, there was a rhyme. And that's what you also did. We had like an inspiration of the day, inspirational word of the day you would start the class off with and just kind of get our minds right, reset, refocus. We were young kids. We were, you know, going through, waking up early, getting to class, trying to get through these nursing classes in the first half hour day. And I think your class just really created an environment for us to kind of release, and relax and still learn and enjoy. And it was fun. And that's why I think that we were able to grasp a lot of the information there.
Okay. So, what are you currently doing now?
So I am working as a nurse. After high school, I did get my LPN, and I worked as an LPN all through college. I went to LI Long Island University in Brooklyn, and so I worked as an LPN the whole time through, and that allowed me to put myself through college, and then I've been working as an RN since 2005. Initially, I started off in like med surg telemetry. I got the opportunity to experience a little oncology nursing, ED, which was really not my favorite, but ended up in critical care in 2008. And I've been in critical care ever since.
So you telling me
And
you've been an RN for 21 years?
when I say it out loud, it like sounds crazy to me.
That is I just hit my 39th year as a nurse, which is crazy.
Wow.
So
Hmm.
4 years as an LPN, 35 years as an RN, but it is amazing. I think that Hillcrest, because I graduated from Hillcrest
Hmm.
LPN
Hmm.
program also, it gave
Yeah.
us all such a big head start.
Amazing opportunity. Like it's something that I think about often. And I mean, I don't know what series of questions you have built next, but you know, you you really just a part of my whole story. I remember getting ready, wanting to leave the program in 12th grade. And I was like, I'm over it. I'm done. I don't think I was doing that great. I'm not going to pass. Like, those were all my thoughts I was having at the time. And I remember speaking to two other teachers in the program, and, their response was, okay, well, if you thought about it and this is what you want to do, go ahead. And when I came to you, you were like, absolutely not. Like, you are not leaving the program. I'm like, oh, I'm crying. I'm like, I can't do it. And, and you just sat me down and you had like a real heart to heart talk with me. And you said, you're not leaving. Like, there's no way. And I never forget that because nursing has changed my life so much. And I often think like, what happens if I wouldn't have stayed, or if I wouldn't have come to talk to you, or you would have just said like the rest of them, all right, Janae, well, it looks like you've thought it through. Go ahead and have a merry life. but it just shows that, how much you cared about us, and you and cared about us in such a special way. And you just took that time to say, no, I know what you're feeling right now, but it's not the right decision. And it's impacted my whole career.
But as a young person, let's go back to your 17-year-old self.
Mhm.
Did you think that I was mean, or was I firm? What was
You were
I?
firm. I didn't think that you were mean. I think that you played no games. You were definitely firm. When it was time to joke and laugh, you did that. And it was time to be about our school business, you did that too.
Okay, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, of all your accomplishments that you've made, you said we met at 15. How old are you now?
I'm 43 years old now.
So, what would you
Um,
be most proud of? What would you say has been your greatest accomplishment?
I think one of my greatest accomplishments was obtaining like my CCRN, and a few years after I entered into the critical care setting. And I think just staying in the field, I think I've come across so many nurses that have left, and I just feel like I've been able to endure with the joy. Like, I still love nursing, I still love being at the bedside, I still, you know, love taking care of my patients. And I'm not seeing that a lot, especially with the new generation. They're very quick. They, don't understand this rapport that takes place with your patient and the nurse. And it's just something that I've come to love. I love interacting with the families. I love interacting with my patients. And it's not like a quick, oh, I'm coming in. There's busy days, but like, I just something feel like that value of that bedside nurse is being lost with the hustle and the bustle and the documenting and all of the other things that we have to get done. But I think that's one of my greatest accomplishments, just still being here and being able to, bring a joy to the bedside, a nurturing to the bedside that I think is getting lost
You said
as.
something very important when you said value. Certainly, I've been in this nursing game for a long time, almost 4 decades, and I have seen the change in nurses that
Mhm.
now everything is quick, fast. They
Yeah.
don't want to study, they don't want to learn, they just want
Mm-mm.
to go online, answer questions. When you
Yeah.
try to teach them patho and explain to them why things happen,
Hmm.
they don't care. And,
Yeah.
initially, like you said, just to be able to stay at the bedside for 21 years is amazing. I couldn't even
Hmm.
stay at the bedside for 21 years.
You're right.
The 7 years got into education, and that's where I
Hmm.
found my passion. But it's
Hmm.
definitely commendable that you can say that you're still at the bedside 21 years later as a critical care nurse and you love it. I know you said you
Hmm.
went to LIU, so that means you have a bachelor's. Did you have any inspiration to continue your education?
No, and I've thought about it many times now. Though I love nursing, I never really loved school per se. So I just felt very comfortable and content, with my bachelor's. Never had this great desire to go back and further my education. So.
And that's fine. You're a critical care nurse. You love your
Hmm.
job, and fulfillment is fulfillment. Wherever you
Hmm.
find that peace, then that's all you need.
That's
So
it.
if you were to look back at your 17-year-old self, where did you think you would be, or did you not even think about it?
Um, I don't know if looking back, I don't know. I would tell her, being where I am now, is that you're making the right decision. Listen to Ms. Gums, keep going. Like, you can do you can do this. Because like I said, I was like making a beeline. But I would just encourage her to say, it gets better, it gets easier, you make an impact. Like, you're going to change people's lives. Um, so, keep going and don't give up.
You know what's so funny? When I was 15, 16 in the nursing program myself, I had this I'm giving up spirit. And I went home And I told my mother, I was like, I'm done with that nursing program. It's too hard. I don't want to do it. And at that point, a lot of people were failing out or dropping out because that's how nursing is. You start with
Right.
30, and if you graduate with 15, you're
That's
lucky.
true.
So only the strong survive, right? So I remember my mother's very strict and very firm. And when I told her that, she was like, "You're not dropping out of nothing." Because I told her I was going into dental assisting.
Right.
She was like, "If you're not the dentist, you're not going into no dental assisting. Get out of here. Go." Like, she wasn't hearing none of it.
Shut
So
you
I
down.
feel like for a lot of young people, if they have somebody just to give them a small vote of encouragement, it
Yes.
goes
Yes.
such a long way. Because at that
Yeah.
age, we're doubtful. Like you
Right.
said, we're getting up 6 o'clock in the morning, going to the hospital. It's like, this is too much. And we're still
Yeah.
trying to be teenagers and still trying to be in high school. But
Exactly.
now we are living testaments that these high school programs do work, like, the
Work.
cosmetology and the automotive. And instead of stressing the students so much with academics, we do need trade schools, and we do need
Yes.
programs that you can come. Imagine coming out of high school and you're a teenage nurse. That's amazing.
That's amazing. And it's afforded me a life that I definitely didn't grow up having, like and afforded me to give a life to my children. Like, it's just opened so many doors for me that, I didn't really know where they were going to come from, how I was going to make it happen. God bless my parents. They were doing their very best, but it was a thought, how are we going to make these ends meet and things come together. And I definitely put a lot of it, or a lot of it, to my nursing career. It's paved the way for me.
Game changing. How many
Game
children do
changing.
you have now?
I have two boys, Caleb and Benjamin. Caleb is 17, so he's going into his senior year. He just finished his junior year of
Wow.
high school. Girl, I can't believe it. And then I have my 14-year-old. He's graduating, or he's moving from 8th grade to 9th grade.
Nice.
So two boys.
Well, congratulations, Janay. Thank you for linking up with me. It's definitely been a long time, 28 years. Everybody doesn't get the privilege to go back and see,
That's
what
true.
their high school teacher is doing, and vice versa. And I'm so grateful that you accepted the yes. In closing, what do you hope your legacy will be?
I hope that when people speak of me, that they will see my heart. I hope that they will know that, or feel that I love what I do, that my heart is genuinely to see them not only get better from the immediate circumstance, but to really do better post hospitalization or post incident. I hope they will say that I was kind, that I was pleasant, that I too spoke words of life into them that help them not only in that immediate situation, but for some other life situation, and help them to propel and move forward and not stay stuck and stagnant in whatever decision process they were in. I hope they remember, just me smiling and being pleasant and helping them along the way.
That's great. And being in critical care, that's such a trying time for the
Mm-hmm.
family. And I know you
Mm-hmm.
mentioned you like interacting with the families, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
sure that they appreciate you. And I just want to thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to talk to me. And thank you, thank you, thank you. So I'm Dr. Rhonda Gumbs-Savain, and this has been The Impact That Lasts. Thank you for joining us as we celebrate the journeys, the growth, the legacies of former students whose stories continue to inspire. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
That lasts, the impact that lasts.